Hello, and welcome to Chat with Dr. Kat. I'm Dr. Kat. Nice to see you today. Today we're going to be talking about relationships and really just about a simple form of communication. And what I mean by that is probably not communicating. Most of the times in relationships, the issues are lack of communication. People don't really know how to communicate. Oftentimes they think that they do, and I'll give you some examples of what I've heard over the years in my practice and just with people in life, where they think they're communicating, but they're not. They think they're listening, but they're not. They want credit for what they do, but it's not what was being asked of them. So it becomes a balance. So it really does come down to something very, very simple. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about that in a very simplified form. It's another one of my theories that I think will simplify it for you. People I've worked with over the years can tell you that I've brought this into my practice and will continue to do so because it is something that's going to stick with you today. So if you have any questions, thoughts, or feelings about today's episode or any other episode, please go to chatwithdrkat.com and let me know. Let me know. The other thing is, if you would like to be a guest, please reach out. Would love to hear from you. We have been getting such amazing responses from people, both from listening and wanting to be on the podcast. So thank you so much. Keep reaching out and keep letting me know what you're thinking and what you are feeling. Because ultimately in life, once we connect our thoughts with our feelings, that's when we have good communication. So, as always, no fluff, no judgment, just real talk that leads to real change. So let's talk about what I just said. You've got thoughts and you've got feelings, and you want to make sure that those two connect. If they don't, you get stuck in the feelings or you get stuck in the thoughts. So how does that work out when I'm dealing with a couple? So when I'm dealing with a couple, sometimes I have one that is very logical. Well, the reason why this happened is X, Y, Z. The reason why it didn't happen was A, B, C. I'm looking at it from the standpoint, I said this, you said that, okay? Very much in the thought process, how it works. Then you have the other person that is like, I feel upset. I don't feel heard. I don't feel like I can move forward. I don't ever feel like I'm heard. Well, what do you want to say? Well, that I'm not heard. Well, what do you want to say? Well, then I'm not heard. And then it goes back and forth. The pattern becomes very cyclical. But when it really does break down, people are saying specifically what they want, but the other person doesn't hear it. So let me give you an example. Some people will say to me, hey, doc, tell me what I can do with this. Or, hey, what can I do and what can I say to get this person to hear me? Then I'll say to them, okay, this. I would like to make sure that you are hearing what I'm saying. So I'm going to tell you what I feel. I feel hurt when you keep leaving your clothes all over the floor. And I feel hurt because the expectation is that I'm the one to pick it up after you. Okay, sounds good. I'm going to do that. Then I see them, they said, I said it. It didn't work out well. And they go back and forth and they're telling me why it didn't work. Then I ask them, well, what did you say exactly? I said, pick up your bleeping stuff off the floor. I'm not the one that's supposed to be picking that up. It's not what I said. That's not what I said. So sometimes people think they say it because it's in the same ballpark. But it is very important to be mindful and to pick words that lead to a person actually hearing you. Oftentimes that comes with you taking accountability first. Hey, I wanted to say to you that the other day when you were talking to me about leaving the dishes in the sink, I didn't really give you the respect of that conversation. So I really want to apologize. And moving forward, I'm not going to leave it on the counter anymore. I'm going to rinse it. I'm going to put it in the dishwasher. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you because I really wasn't there yet, but I've got it now. Also, I think that's what's happening with the clothes left on the floor. And I didn't handle that well either. So moving forward, can you understand that the reason why I get frustrated is because I feel like you create the mess and I'm then supposed to come after you and clean it up. It hurts my feelings. If we could just make an agreement to clean up after each other, let's do it. See, that is good communication. Sometimes people get caught up and say, well, it seems kind of hokey, a little psychobabbly, but let me tell you, it is a straight line between point A to point B. Do you want to walk the straight line of good communication? Or do you want to go back and forth and loop around and 2 years later, boom, you get to point B? I would recommend point A to point B, straight line, make it happen. Take the chance, use the psychobabble, make it work. Okay, so that's the first part about communication with couples. You want to walk that straight line of communication. Here's the other thing. Here's my yellow, paint the room yellow theory. Yellow room. Sit back and really listen to this, because this is going to open your mind to what happens in relationships. Excuse me. When people say to you, I need you to do this for me, oftentimes they hear something else, they step up and do something different. So here's your example. If someone says to you, your spouse, your partner, even a friend says to you, hey, what I really need in our relationship is for you to paint the room yellow. Red, blue, but I go with yellow. It's just simple. Paint the room yellow for me. Okay. They say, oh, yes, I will. I heard you and I will absolutely do that. But you come home and there's a new bed, a new mattress, a new headboard, but the room is still blue. It's not yellow. And the person walks in and goes, oh, did you see the new bed I got you? Did you see the new headboard? And they're very happy because they've actually done something for you in their mind to make you happy. That person says, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's beautiful. A new bed, a new headboard. That's wonderful. But they walk away going, okay, but the room is not yellow. I asked for the room to be yellow. Okay, but I'm not going to say anything because I want them to feel good. I want them to feel happy about what they did because I do appreciate the bet. Couple weeks go by, couple maybe months go by. Person comes back and says, hey, I wanted to talk to you. I really need the room to be painted yellow. And the person's like, oh, okay. I got the bed. Was that not good enough? And the person says, oh, no, that was wonderful. Please, no, that was wonderful. Oh, okay, I thought you didn't like the bed. No, I love the bed. But could you paint the room yellow for me? Yes, I can. Great. The person goes out, goes to work. A couple days goes by, come back from work again. And now there's a new carpet. There's a new carpet on the floor. Now, the carpet is beautiful. Maybe the room needed a new carpet. Maybe it didn't. But now there's a new carpet that is laying underneath the beautiful new bed and the beautiful new headboard. But the room is still blue. So the person walks in and goes, oh, there's a new carpet. And the person says, yes, I got you the new carpet. I thought it would go with the new bed. And it just, makes the room look beautiful. It's so great. And the person says, well, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's not painted yellow. Well, what do you mean? You don't like the carpet? It's all about the yellow room? That's all that's important? I wanted the carpet too. I think, it warms our feet. I think it's great. It's wonderful. The person says, no. It's beautiful. Well, this keeps going on in their life and in their relationship. Now it's a new side table. Now it's a new piece of artwork, while the room is not yellow. Now the paint is peeling. Maybe the, floorboards are starting to pop up a little bit. Maybe the crown molding, something's going on there. Paint is cracked, peeling, because nothing has been attended to with the yellow room. So what do you think happens in a relationship when a person keeps asking for the room to be painted yellow over and over and over again? And each time they come in, there's a new agenda, something else that needs to be done. So what that person hears over time is what they need is not important. What they want for change is not valued. It's not important. What's important is the agenda of the other person only. Now, did they have good intentions? Have they done wonderful things for that room? Absolutely. You don't want to negate that or discount it. But at the end of the day, if you want the relationship, you want the person to take you seriously, you want to be able to fulfill the needs of your partner and vice versa, you have to hear about what they're saying to you. Sometimes people in relationships give you a roadmap on how to get to them and how to meet them in a place of happiness. But you won't paint the room yellow. You'll do everything else, which is fantastic, but you don't paint the room yellow. And so oftentimes with couples that I work with, they'll say to me, oh gosh, I did this. And then they have to sit there and go, oh my God, but I didn't paint the room yellow. I said, you didn't paint the room yellow. This would be a pivotal moment in the relationship if you painted the room yellow. Now, this goes both ways. We have to move away all the time from our own agenda. We need to truly open our hearts and listen to our partner and hear what they want from the relationship, what it is that they need in order to find happiness within the relationship. Maybe the relationship has become stale. Maybe the relationship, your roommates, who knows what's going on in the relationship, but it's not happy. Maybe it's miserable. Find out. And if they're asking you to paint the room yellow, if you love them, you find value in the relationship, paint the room yellow. Yesterday. Not 5 years from now, not once you've stumbled upon something you go, I got it. They wanted the room yellow. Be mindful. It's very, very simple. Now, is it a lot of work to paint the room yellow on your own? Absolutely. Maybe you've painted one wall and you go, wow, look. But what the person asked for was to paint the whole room yellow. And if you find that it's a color swatch of 5 different yellows, but the room never gets painted, that's an issue. If you find out that one square is painted, that's an issue. One wall, maybe the ceiling, something's going on that is keeping you from painting the room yellow. So, I think you get what I'm saying. Listen to one another. Figure out why you're not painting the room. Figure out maybe why it's so important for them for the room to be yellow. Either way, follow the roadmap that is in front of you. You don't need to rewrite it. You don't need to reroute it. You don't need to come up with diversions and better ways to get to where you need to go. Sometimes you need to just sit back, be peaceful, listen to your partner, and follow what their roadmap is. That speaks volumes to the partner you're with. Now, I recommend maybe tonight you sit down with your partner, your friend, and you say this story, the yellow room method. Okay? Think about it. What is it that I can do to implement that? Discuss this yellow room theory, then apply the method and say, okay, let's sit down, let's grab a piece of paper, and what would our lives look like if we painted the room yellow? Again, remember, that's your analogy. What is it that's going to make me happy? both of you sit down and logically look at it. Because some of those things you may need to paint your own room yellow, and the other person doesn't need to paint the room for you. Now, if you do get to that point with your partner and they decide to paint the entire room yellow on their own, it may be the end of the relationship. Because now they don't need you to paint the room yellow anymore. They can do it on their own. Now, you want to be powerful, you want to be independent, but you want to be in a relationship. Ideally, it would be great if you painted the room yellow and then maybe together you painted the baseboards and the crown molding together. Either way, you want to work together. So, this has been Chat with Dr. Cat. I'm Dr. Cat. Please let me know if you have any comments or thoughts. And work on painting the room yellow. No time like the present. Don't wait. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.